All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
Welcome back to the Big Mig Show. It's Rise and Grind Monday morning. Of course, kill him with the truth and bury him with a smile is what this show is all about. Because it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. George Ballantine. What's going on, bro?
What's up?
How are
Oh,
you?
camera messed up.
George's going to reset his camera because, he's got to have it just right. All right. Well, listen, we're happy you guys are here, and we really appreciate it. If you love the show after you get done watching today, make sure you hit that follow button. That's the best way to thank us. You can do a paid subscription. Fantastic. We know it's a tough economy. Do what you can. It's $5 a month. And if you can do a Rumble Rant tip, we always appreciate those. We've also got the Rumble crypto wallet connected. So if you want to dump us, 10 or 15 Bitcoin, feel free to do that. George is back. George Ballantine, how are you, man?
Good. Monday.
You
Manic.
sound excited about the weather there this morning.
No, it was like 40 degrees for us on the cars. Weather's bipolar. Need some medication.
Yeah, no doubt. It's warm here right now, but, we had that weird cold thing for like a couple hours here in Colorado the other day, and it dumped a little snow. It was actually really weird. All of a sudden, it went from warm to being really cold. I don't know. Maybe they're controlling our weather. Who knows? We never know what's going on with that weather. I don't like any of it. I know that the cloud seeding thing seems to be more and more obvious, but all right. Well, listen, of course, we love our sponsors. Give a shout out. George and I love our gold and silver. I'm holding up the Prepper Bar. Of course, they're your escape. These are real tangible forms of wealth. Gold and silver you can hold, trade, and trust. No government can seize it. No hacker can steal it. Time is ticking. And you need to act now to secure your Prepper bars before the government rolls out their next move. I know it's the Trump administration, but look, they still don't have a plan to pay up to $40 trillion in debt. And right now you can use promo code, the Big Mig. Is it Big Mig Gold, George? Just the. Is it the or just Big Mig Gold? I want to make sure I get it right.
Fuck, Lance, I don't know.
I think it's Big Mig Gold. That'll get you 5% off on the gold. Big Mig Silver. That'll get you 10% off on the silver. You head over to the bigmigbar.com. That's right, the bigmigbar.com. And George makes it easy. You got that QR code you can take there. Don't go there now. Go there right after the show. Pick up a few. It's always good to have a backup plan just in case. The bigmigbar.com.
The promo codes are Big Mig Silver and Big Mig Gold.
I got it right there.
Yeah,
I always want to say the. I'm always stuck with the in my head.
Mm-hmm.
All right, George. Well, there may be good news on the horizon. I don't know. I never know what to think. I was very excited when our friend Kash Patel was put in the position at the FBI, and then nothing. I was hoping he was going to go right into full swing and put the government gangster thing right in. At one point, he talked about making the FBI building a museum. I hope that if this is true, and this is what he said on the show, I hope that this includes federal agents and Department of Justice prosecutors. It's about time that some government officials get charged with criminal charges, but I try to do a little Paul Revere thing there, like arrests are coming, one if by land, two if by sea, Anyway, what do you think, George? James, he's saying that James Comey is not going to be the only one facing criminal consequences. He said that they have staged a de facto coup against Donald Trump and must pay for it. How about the de facto coup against the American public, George? I thought the coup was against us. Isn't it government for the people, by the people? Why does it always seem like it's only Donald Trump that he wants to bring up?
I don't know. Maybe because he figures if he brings up, stolen election for Trump, it's just for everybody. But how do I feel about this? I mean, the same way I feel about everything he's been doing. Meh. How many times have we heard Kash Patel go on a show or interview and say this, and that? Shit, he came on this show. Big Mig show right here. Talked about government gangsters, how to get rid of them, and this and that. I don't know. There's still all those government gangsters running around D.C. and everywhere else doing what they want. You know what?
Yeah.
To me, okay, you could talk the talk, but when he walks that talk, that's when it matters. And people say, "Oh, what do you mean walk the talk?" Well, walk the talk is put into action what the words that are coming out of your mouth. That's it. I mean, shit. They all say good stuff, but we'll see. Do I have some hope? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we had the grand jury impaled in Florida, but one of the prosecutors had to get fired because they don't want to do shit. I mean, it's like the same old story, right?
Yeah, it's the same old song.
How do we know? How do we know we have the right prosecutors now?
I don't think we do. I don't know what to think of Todd Blanche. I don't know him. I don't know enough about him.
I'm talking about the prosecutors in Southern District of Florida.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But I think it all rolls down from the top, right? Todd Blanche would make the decision for replacing them, interim, DOJ prosecutors. So for the one that just got, he didn't get fired, though. The person that was on this case didn't get fired. They just got moved. And the point was, if that's the way that they're going to behave, that they're not going to apply the laws of these United States equally, George, I don't think just taking them off the case is good enough. Why don't they fire this SOB?
I mean, what's taking Trump so long to pick an attorney general?
I agree. Should be easy enough, I would think.
No, it's never easy enough. That's where you falter. You got to do your due diligence. But knowing he was going to probably get rid of Bondi, he should have.
So who was your top pick, George? Who was your top pick?
Sidney Powell.
Yeah, that's my same top pick. So does he really need to do his due diligence? Is it really that hard? You did it, and you're not even a legal expert.
He might have to
I did it, and I'm not a legal expert.
Hold on. He might have to do that in order to ensure that Sidney Powell's the right person,
I think anybody that's been forged in fire, she got attacked over and over and over again.
I mean, look, Lance.
A lot of these other names that have been floated around, I don't feel confident about, George.
I mean, just look at, and we're going to talk about Corey Mills later on, but everybody thought he was a good guy, military guy and all that. And look what's coming out now. So do your due diligence. Sidney Powell for Attorney General.
They got a lot of background on Powell. They could probably quickly do the due diligence. It would be hard for people to refute her. Of course, she was attacked just like Donald Trump was because she came out and said the election was stolen. We now know it to be true. I think she's got a lawsuit of her own. But all right, listen, let's hope that Kash is on point here. I like Kash Patel. I just don't. I'm so far I'm not thrilled with the performance in that job duty of his. So let's play the clip.
I lived through it, and the media came at me then too. That just shows you that when you're over the target, you keep pummeling the target because the media is going to try and pummel you. We are not going to take this and have not taken this laying down. We did already indict former Director Comey, and that's going through the judicial process. But we also, at this FBI, even though we uncovered what we uncovered back in the House Intel days, I had to come in here and find rooms that they hid from the world. I had to come in here and find access on our computer systems in restricted and prohibited case files that they purposely put in places for no one to see and find. We have found all this information. We are working with our Department of Justice partners, and I am never going to let this go because they not only have personally attacked the presidency of the United States and President Trump, but they tried to thwart our elections and rig the entire system. And that is not something that is going to stop. That is not something I'm going to allow on my watch. Right. But you just have to remember, they built this disease temple over 20 and 30 years. We've got all the evidence. I can announce on your show that we've got all the information we need. We're working with our prosecutors at the Department of Justice and their Attorney General Todd Blanche, and we are going to be making arrests. And it's coming, and I promise you, it's coming soon.
Well, Kash, hold on, because when you started this interview, you said, Maria, you and I have been working together for a long time, and this is exactly what you were referring to. You were on my show repeatedly talking about the Russia collusion story, and our audience wants to know why there's never any accountability. But specifically, the question that I asked you was about election integrity and whether or not you have any information to verify what President Trump says all the time, which is the election was rigged.
Where's that part? I don't know. I don't have that part. But on a good note, he's suing the Atlantic over their latest hit piece on Kash. Good for him, right? All these lawsuits, everyone's sue.
Yeah. I'd like to sue the Atlantic for all the lies they told the American public. I mean, that's really what, then that's what I always feel like. I feel like A lot of this stuff is weaponized specifically to them, but there are many people that have had their rights violated. And until they start actually bringing charges against Department of Justice prosecutors, FBI, DEA, ATF, I don't know if it's fixable, George. I hope it is, but I don't know. One of those things you just don't feel great about. All right. Kind of a big story coming out of here. Federal agents just arrested 44-year-old, and by the way, she's on a green card. I looked that up. 44-year-old Iranian woman, Shamim Mafi, at LAX. Why? And remember, she's on a green card. She's been here, I think, since 2016, I think, or maybe later than that. Yeah, she's accused of selling Iranian drones, bombs, fuses, assault weapons, and millions of rounds of ammunition to the Sudanese. Looks like she's kind of been, a female death dealer. You got to get. I'm actually kind of surprised. Normally arms dealing is a man's business. Most of the guys over the years that I ever interacted with, it was all men. There weren't any women. What do you think, George? This is a crazy story.
I mean, you just said it. Better, probably using a cover as a woman is probably better because they're always men.
Yeah. And what's interesting, I think, is that she's been living in the country and dealing weapons for Iran. So,
I mean, if she wasn't dealing weapons for Iran, she'd probably still be able to do her thing.
Yeah.
I mean, how many other weapons dealers are there?
Yeah, I mean, lots. There are lots and lots. You can just go to the big events out in Vegas and do the big weapons events, and you'll see who's doing it. All right, let's go ahead and play the clip.
This story just into our newsroom this morning. A Los Angeles woman arrested for trafficking arms on behalf of the Iranian government. Correspondent Max Gordon is in the Southland with more on that for us. Max, a crazy story with incredible pictures from the airport.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. Last night, 44-year-old Shamim Mafi, an Iranian national now living in the LA area, was arrested at LAX just before getting on a flight to Turkey. She's accused of trafficking arms on behalf of the Iranian government. According to the FBI's Iran counterintelligence squad, Mafi is accused of selling Iranian-manufactured bombs, drones, assault weapons, and millions of rounds of ammunition to Sudan. Mafi was allegedly coordinating with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. According to the federal government, one of the contracts was worth 60 million euros, brokering the sale of Iranian-made drones between Iran's defense ministry and Sudan. In another instance, Mafi is accused of selling 55,000 bomb fuses to the Sudanese military. According to the criminal complaint, Mafi is a lawful permanent U.S. resident, though not a citizen. She was born in Iran, relocated to Turkey, but most recently has lived in Woodland Hills, California. Mafi travels frequently to Iran, Turkey, Oman, and other countries, and according to the feds, executed her illegal weapons brokering scheme from multiple locations, including right here in California. She's currently charged with conspiracy to violate the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. If convicted, Mafi faces up to 20 years in federal prison. Kevin, back to you.
Yep. Well, since we're talking about Iran, why not? Me and Lance were just talking while that thing was playing about the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know, Lance, did you see the Iranian ship that didn't want to stop for the naval blockade, and the officer gave them warnings, and they fired a few rounds into its engine hole and blew a hole and stopped it. Then you see the Marines land on a ship from a helicopter. Iran wants their ship back. Now, you just said what? Iran said the Strait of Hormuz is closed?
Yeah, so I just looked it up again just to make sure because of course it's open, it's closed, it's open, it's closed. So it is closed right now based on what they're saying. They're saying it's functionally closed due to intense conflict. Iran has reimposed all its strict restrictions on who can travel and who can't, and they're firing on ships that are not complying. My understanding is our Navy is having a little bit of difficulty dealing with the smaller attack boats of Iran. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what the media is saying. So I'll say to you, there it is, although I would be surprised if that was true if we can blow a drug boat out of the water from, a high atmosphere.
Maybe because they're a little more faster and maneuverable. But then we have those boats too. We can just put them in the water and go tit for tat with them. But how is Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz? Closing it with what? What are they using to close it?
Well, there's still the issue of mines in the water. I don't know if they're landing more mines, but those small, fast attack boats, Those are equipped with torpedoes and some other surface to air stuff. So they're using those small attack boats. That's what
those little boats got torpedoes. They have the equipment on there to
Yeah, they have this smaller torpedo. When I saw them, I was shocked too. I actually looked where they were before they deployed them, and they were showing how they're equipped. I watched a video on it that somebody had put together. So yeah, kind of surprising. But that was their whole plan, was to use an overwhelming squadron of manned boats and drone boats, and they would be equipped in this manner where they could cause serious damage. So I don't know how much of this is true. That in fact this is what I'm reading in the press. So I don't have any direct source in Iran. So just to give you guys the details, but that's at least what they're saying, George.
I mean, shit. Start blowing the shit out of their ports and everything. Don't let them launch from anywhere.
Yeah, they got a few of them.
They did. That's what happens. They gave them a 10-day ceasefire, and it came out too that Iran said they stocked back up on drones and some missiles.
Yeah. That's what the ceasefire was all about, in my opinion. That's why I wouldn't have given it to him. I would have said, no, there's no ceasefire.
That's what I said when it first came out.
Sign or don't sign, and I don't give a shit. And you're either going to turn off the uranium, that's a non-negotiable point, or we're just going to hammer you. And that threat that Donald Trump threw out there with we're going to get rid of a whole demographic. Anyway,
and now Iran's saying they don't want to talk with U.S. until they stop the blockade.
Okay. Well, if I were the U.S., fuck them. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't. This is what Iran's done for decades. They say one thing and they do another. They sit here, lie. They got it away with Biden. They got away with it with Obama. It's just that's their pattern. So there's really no reason to believe it. If their lips are moving, they're full of shit, in my opinion.
Well, Iran says they stocked up. Well, we stocked up too. We got enough coffee, cigarettes, and everything else. Food.
Yeah, exactly.
Ain't gonna look good for them. I'm pretty sure Israel and the U.S. have a new bombing plan ready to go. So I don't know. We'll see. I agree, Lance. We said this when they did the 10-day ceasefire talks that they're gonna stock up and do all this. I mean.
We did say it. It was the first thing we said. I said all they're going to do is stock up. They're not going to follow through.
This is where politics hinder and harm U.S. military operations, because you got people. There's always going to be people. Oh, look, you're just bombing them. You're not giving them a chance, and then when you give them a chance, it lets them recuperate.
Yeah,
it's war.
Yeah,
ain't no fucking.
Yeah, you're right over the target on it, man.
I should have just.
We knew it was a waste of time to begin with. The Iranians have never fully come to the table. They always do this thing like, well, yeah, we're talking. And the truth of the matter is, George, I think one of the biggest problems in Iran that everybody is ignoring is we really don't know who's in charge, because the RGC is saying no a lot of times to what some leadership in Iran is saying. Then there's another group of leadership in Iran that says they're the ones that are really in charge. I mean, you've got this thing that we don't really know who could even sign the agreement that would go along with it. And they're still killing their own people. They're still executing people for that protest. So, this is the reason we're supposed to be there. I'm tired of Washington, D.C. They're not doing us any good. The majority of D.C. is just a cesspool of scum. There's going to be a lot coming out. More and more stuff's coming out on them. You're going to see how awful these people are, which is really too bad. Well, look, George, what do you got with Georgia elections?
It's not elections. It's Georgia election workers that were charged for years-long healthcare fraud scheme. But you have to ask yourself, if these are election workers doing healthcare fraud scheme, what else are they doing? Are they doing any allegedly? I'm going to say allegedly, and so we don't get sued. Allegedly, any election fraud schemes? I don't know. These two election workers and other middle Georgia women have been charged for their role in a healthcare fraud scheme. Look at that. Others, there's a bunch of women. They say Tarisha Fudge Riley. She's an election supervisor from Macomb County and Lamika. These names are crazy. Lamika Lakes, election clerk and deputy election registrar, allegedly participated in years-long schemes to commit healthcare fraud. They submitted fraudulent insurance claims for mental health therapy sessions that had never happened. That never happened. Seems like, you see the healthcare fraud schemes. This is Minnesota, Ohio, California. It's happening everywhere, by the way. It's in every state. It's just you got to find them and catch them.
And I think that's how it works, George. I think that somebody ends up dating, somebody ends up meeting. I think the Somalians have their own communication network across the country in the way that they work in clans. And the truth of the matter is, I think when it comes to these government officials, they probably know more about social services programs than you and I know. So they see an opportunity, they see somebody else making money, and they, of course, start thinking, well, we could do this. And of course, I think this scam right here, you got to have some insiders. Well, it's great to have people in government to kind of know how the social services program works. And then you've got to have somebody that's willing to commit the fraud. In the case of the Somalians, they create a business from scratch, or some of the other foreign nationals that do it. We've seen a lot of people from the Middle East in Beverly Hills. They appear to be deep into the healthcare fraud. They're driving around in Rolls Royces and Bentleys and Ferraris, showing off that they're making tons of money. But meanwhile, everything they're doing is just stealing from the American government. My big concern is they're not moving swiftly enough. A lot of these people are fleeing the country and they're keeping their money. It's going to be very difficult to prosecute them in, say, Somalia, where Somalia would agree, of course, because all they'll do is pay off government officials where they would agree to allow them to be arrested there. And that's the difficulty, I think. And in this case, don't you think that government officials maybe know a little bit more about
this case? They're not Somalians, Lance. They're just
I know
regular everyday Americans.
But however, with their government employees, don't you think they know more about social services than, say, you or I do? That they know about the programs, they hear about it, how people are doing this and that?
Well, here's the kicker. So these women, they received millions of dollars in after submitting fraudulent claims. So they're charged with this, but yet they still work in the elections office right now.
Yeah. You think that's a good idea?
No.
And that is like the smoking gun. And George, that's just right over the target, and it's common sense, right? I mean, these are elected officials, right? These are officials that work in the election office, and we're supposed to trust them with our elections. But here they are scamming the social services programs. And I would tell you that if we had to audit, I'll bet you if you doged every city government infrastructure, you would just find so much more and more and more fraud, whether it's linked to family members that they're telling them, oh, you can run a Leering center. Oh, you can have an autism center. Oh, you can commit this and you can make a lot of money. Go ahead, George.
So they had a grand jury indictment that alleges that from 2019, January to December 2022, James Ellis, a licensed therapist operating her practice, submitted several fraudulent insurance claims for mental health therapy sessions she knew never occurred to receive millions of dollars in payments from insurance companies. Now, federal prosecutors, they say they believe Fudge Riley, who is the chief Macomb County BOE supervisor and Lake's election clerk therapist, as well as Childs, were paid by Ellis to only create fake therapy session notes that were submitted to health insurance providers for prepayment review. Interesting. But yet they still work for the elections office. Oh, I got to put their pictures up. Look at these two lovely ladies. Look at them. Hi.
Why does it always seem that when we look at election fraud, is it just me? Does it always seem like it's middle-aged black women that are committing the fraud? Is that just me? Or
is it maybe because, a lot of them are single moms? Not just saying. I mean, I don't know. Why, Lance, you see hold on. You see all these kids doing all this crazy stuff, shutting down streets, running into malls, and they're all black kids. I mean,
this isn't a racist
what is that?
Thing. This is a comment for me that I just don't get why it always seems like you look at all the people we've seen up in, Michigan and all the other places we see election fraud where they're pulling the ballots underneath the table or they're scanning extra ballots. Why does it always seem like it's middle-aged black women? Are they easier to compromise? Are they more willing to take the bribe?
I don't know.
I mean, it does seem like it's a pattern. Again, I'm not, and I'm not a racist. So I just think it's odd that we keep seeing the same thing. It's always,
what they're going to say? I know the answer.
What is it?
They're going to say, due to being suppressed with their educations, that they weren't smart enough to realize. Yet they're smart enough to get these type of government jobs.
Yeah. But there's also a pattern. It seems like a lot of them are in government jobs. It seems like there's just this, maybe it's the whole DEI hiring. I don't know.
If you look at with stuff like that, you have to look at the area, the county. It's a predominantly.
Yeah, of course, Georgia. I understand.
Well, Not depends where in Georgia, but you know, yeah,
Yeah.
because
All right.
you can go like my county offices are not predominant; they're mixed, but not like that. And then if you go
Here they're
next
about-
county over, they're predominantly like
Here
black
they're
or Spanish.
60% predominantly black here in Colorado. And Colorado's not a predominantly black state, but you see that in the government offices. If you go to the Secretary of State, you get on the title office or excise and license, you'd be surprised. So, all right. Well, listen, we've got to take a short break and we'll come back.
No, not yet.
We're not taking a break?
Not 30 minutes yet, bro. You want to go early? You want to jump the gun?
No. Let's not go early. Let's not go early.
We'll do this story and we'll take a break because this is, once again, Israel. You believe these cocksuckers? So a soldier was taken. Let me just put it up. This is happened in Lebanon. That's a statue of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And this dude was taking an axe to it. Now the IDF says that they will investigate themselves.
Yeah.
After one of their soldiers destroyed a sculpture of Jesus in Lebanon. And the IDF also, just so everybody says, the IDF also confirmed that footage of a soldier smashing a statue of Jesus is authentic. So this is not fake. This is 100% real. The IDF confirmed it because this was circulating around X. And, you know, they always say, this is how you know the Israel IDF, it doesn't matter. They just want to get rid of Arabs. It doesn't matter what religion they are because there's a lot of Christian Arabs. Even in Lebanon, it's in their constitution that the president has to be a Christian. And what does this statue have to do with terrorism or Hezbollah? No, because they're radical Islamics. But yet this dude's doing that. If this guy's thinking about this, how many other soldiers are thinking like that?
Oh, a lot. How about this guy running the cameras thinking like it? Whoever took the picture.
Was it a soldier or somebody else?
It's one of his buddies because they don't travel alone. You don't think it's more likely his buddy?
Yeah, I don't know. The IDF says they're going to go and help and rebuild the statue, restore it. Do I trust them to do their own investigation and bring charges to this soldier?
No, I don't.
They probably won't even release his name, saying for security reasons.
Yeah,
you know, some bullshit stuff.
Exactly.
You know,
I agree with you. You're right. Look, when you're right, you're right.
Shit pisses me off, that stuff.
Yeah, you know
what?
Freedom of religion, and the truth of the matter is, you hear the Islamic extremists talking about the Christians.
Here's
Jews talk about the Christians. Everybody wants to talk about the Christians.
Here's a broad statement. Ready? Here's a broad statement. Don't be surprised if that soldier dies in an attack. You know, trying to defend Israel or whatever, and he just dies because Jesus is not happy right now. Just saying.
The Christians don't seem to be talking about anybody, but the Jews are talking about the Christians, and the Muslims are talking about the Christians. Jihad this and that, and that the far right, I don't know if I call them far right, far left, far right, Israeli Jews. When you get to extremist Jews, there are extremists. Listen, in every nationality, this isn't an attack on, we're not anti-Semitic on this show, and we're not, we're not racist. The point of the matter is you just have to look at the facts in front of you. You have to ask yourself, can we trust these people? And I would tell you that anybody that is completely dedicated to their religion beyond the scope of at least our foreign adversaries or our foreign allies, you have to really wonder when you get real extremism in religion. And I'm not telling you that we're not religious. Sure, we're a God, country, family show. But the point is extremists. When you get to the far left or far right of extremist religions, I'll go out on a limb and say you cannot trust those people. Can't trust them.
In the Bible it says he will come as a thief in the night, meaning when Jesus comes, you're not going to see him coming. I wonder if he were to come down, what would the people of Israel be doing right now? What would happen to Israel and the people there? He does say he's going to come for Israel. It says in the Bible. Don't mock me, but
tough stuff. Religion is one of those things, and I'm just telling you, I've been around extremist Muslims, and I've watched how they treat their wives and their children and the young boys and the animals. And I'm an animal guy. I looked down the barrel of a scope many times and looking and watching things, and I can tell you, I had dark thoughts, lots and lots of dark thoughts. All right, listen, stay tuned. The Big Mig Show will be right back. When we come back, we'll be talking about New Jersey, George's hometown. Yep. Here we go. We'll be right back. George Ballantine, Lance Migliaccio, The Big Mig Show. Yep, edge of the knife. You know how we do it. We'll be here waiting for you guys. Stay tuned. Hey, we're on the break. Take that live link, share it far and wide. Help us grow the show. Whatever you can do to get people in here and participate. And then don't be shy. Get in the chat. Be right back.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here with your host, Lance Migliaccio. Yours truly, George Ballantine. You know we got the Big Mig Mafia in the chat and Big Mig Marmy out there. So if you're watching or listening, if you have a chance, you can join the chat. Come join the chat. Say hello. If you're working and I don't want you to get in trouble, just hit the thumbs up button, the like, follow, share. If you can subscribe, $5 a month, we truly appreciate it. Helps out with overhead. Every little bit helps. But you know, Lance and I got the perfect solution for the people who can't watch their crypto 24/7, talking about BlockTrustIRA.com. They're bringing access to cryptocurrency wealth to everyday people. Their exclusive anonymous AI trading platform works 24/7. Analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. This sophisticated technology, once reserved only for Wall Street insiders, Now it's available to you. And this system was named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. Our clients are already seeing over 250% returns on their investments, all with military-grade security and up to $200 million in insurance. Your wealth is fully protected, so no wait. Visit BigMidCrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution. Finally giving everyday Americans access to a crypto opportunity of a lifetime. Once again, visit BigMidCrypto.com today and you can get up to $2,500 of free crypto. QR code's right here on the screen next to me. Take a screenshot. Links in the chat. Links in the more section of the video. We got you covered every which way. All you got to do is make the move and call. All right, let's get down to my freaking state. So,
hey, World Cup is big news.
Yeah,
so this is actually very cool. Very cool that it's going to be in your backyard.
Well, so you got the World Cup this year, 2026, and New Jersey is one of the states hosting, along with California. They'll have some games there. Mexico, Canada, I think a few other places, but New Jersey will have, I don't know how many games, but they will also have the final. Cool, right?
Oh, that's big news, man.
Yep. And they're actually, for this event, they're naming MetLife Stadium will be named New York, New Jersey Stadium during the World Cup. I don't know, corporate sponsors and shit. You know how it is.
Like the teams playing in New Jersey are Brazil, France, England, and Germany. I don't know what other ones here. That's New York. Oh, wait, the New York, New Jersey. Here they are listed here. Brazil versus Morocco, France versus Senegal, Norway versus Senegal, Ecuador versus Germany, Panama versus England. Yeah. Big lineup, George. You got a big lineup in your backyard. You got all those Brazilian chicks that are going to be there, dude. You might have to throw on your press pass. Get on it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So, and it's crazy. So the stadium is not allowing anybody to park in the stadium. Crazy. So guess what? Where do you park? Well, you can't. You got to either take an Uber or take a bus, train, and they're jacking all the prices, which is not the FIFA. They're not doing it. It's like New Jersey's doing it. Like Mickey Sherrill, the governor, Democrat, of course, she's jacking up all the prices. She's blaming FIFA. FIFA's like, not us. You're the one doing it. But look how much money he's generating.
I like how she's shifting blame. No, it's not me. Yeah.
So no matter what, this generates a lot of money for where the games are being played. For, there's so much. Vendors, taxes, everything. And now you want to jack up prices?
Yeah.
So people will have to pay $150 for a 30-minute New Jersey Transit train ride. If you're coming from New York.
How much is that ride?
Hold on, Lance. If you're coming from New York to MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, I'm just asking, how much is that train ride normally? You know?
Maybe $9. I've taken it a few times.
Wow, that's a serious jacking right there. They might as well put a pistol against your head. It's going to go to $150 versus $9 or $10.
Hold on, that's just for the train ride. Then you got to pay for the shuttle bus, and those tickets are priced at $80.
So you got for like 35 minutes or 40 minutes of ride, you got to pay $230. Yeah,
and even kids have to pay that price.
You might as well take an Uber Black all the way from your house.
It's if you're coming from New York and stuff, it's I don't know.
No, but I bet you could get Uber Black from New Jersey. How far is the stadium from you?
From me?
Yeah,
10 minutes.
Okay, so you could get Uber Black, and I bet you Uber Black would be $60 from your house to there. You could show up in your black Mercedes.
I could park closer to some friend's house, or I got a cousin.
No, but I'm just saying this is crazy. That's out of control. I mean, I could understand taking it up some, but
where's the federal government getting involved? This is like price gouging and stuff.
Price gouging and price fixing. Yeah.
They're saying, it's gonna.
Listen to this. You have to pre-purchase parking at the nearby American Dream Mall.
No, if you want to.
Yeah, it's $225 plus if you want to buy it early.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just pay whatever Can you imagine what the rate would be during the day? Now, World Cup tickets for everybody out there, the finals, they sell for big money. Big money.
Minimum you're going to pay is like $6,000. And they're saying it can go up to over 10, depending where you're at. 4,000 to 5,000 go up to like 10.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you not have general public parking? For football games, baseball games, they have parking. Why not for the park? Huh?
Greed. They see an opportunity to just gouge everybody. Because what are you going to do? You're going to be stuck.
I mean, but the stadium would make so much more money on parking too.
Listen, I'm on your side, but you know what they're probably doing, George? They're probably taking the parking space and they're leasing it out for booths. So they're probably figured out that they can get more money leasing it out for promotional and food and all the rest of that stuff. Probably selling shirts. Everybody got their booths for shirts. They probably have team booths for every team that's playing there. Like Brazil will have an area where they're selling all their Brazil swag. And they probably figured out they can get a lot more money than parking they can for parking. It's probably what they do.
I don't know about that. That parking lot's huge, Lance. You're not having that many vendors.
I mean,
you tell me people
are
are not. I don't know.
Well, every team has a big section when you go to World Cup. They have these big areas where they're selling their crap, and all their fans show up, and they might have pre-fan events or VIP events for their VIP.
You know, it'd be funny. Not funny, it'd be crazy. Because, you know, I don't think the governor's realizing what you're doing. So you're kind of like, you know how they herd cattle into the corrals and stuff?
Yeah.
So,
sure.
and they're easy targets now. So what you're doing, let's face it, you're talking Brazil, a lot of Ecuador immigrants, they love their soccer. You're making it easy for ICE agents to find people.
Yeah.
They're going to be on the trains and buses. I'm just saying. Yep. Go ahead, Mickey Cheryl. You keep doing that, sweetheart. Dumb. It's crazy.
All right. Let's talk about Harmy Dillon. Let me say this. I'm not a fan. I don't think she's done much in the civil rights division for people that have their rights violated.
Well,
I've been watching her very closely for a number of reasons. It was one of the things is I took that whistleblower document and gave it to her directly, delivered it directly to her, did it online. And I'm watching what she's doing otherwise in some other cases that I'm familiar with. And I would say that no, I'm going to give her a D- rating. So everybody can give her their own rating. That's up to you. But she's suing multiple states and DC over access to voter rolls. Of course, yeah, we know about the Deadmocrats. Go over to Urban Dictionary. George and I coined that term very early on. Deadmocrat, basically a dead person on a voter roll. So telling me there's 350,000 dead
Lance,
people on
can
the
I
roll?
just stop you for a second? I just got one of our older mods who, because of time show changes, couldn't do it, but she's in the chat. Dana, what's up, Dana? DD Oaks 11. Miss you.
Yeah, Dana, thanks for being there.
Yeah. All right, sorry. You can continue.
Yeah, no, it's not sorry. Listen, I'm going to give her a D-. There's a lot of stuff that I think she could be doing that she didn't do. And again, they say they're going to clean up the voter rolls, so they're going to force the states to do it. They ought to bring charges. They shouldn't just be investigating. If somebody's trying to block them for getting to federal voter rolls to see that they're accurate, I mean, start arresting people. Don't need a reason to wait. I do want somebody that's strong in the civil rights arena.
I don't know if she can actually arrest, but she can tell them, why if they're blocking the federal government from looking at federal voter rolls, why not?
I mean, the whole Russian collusion story was fake. We know about the Democrats. We know about the ballots that got taken out from under the tables. We outed one of the biggest stories, which was the counterfeit ballot operations in China. We actually had pictures of the ballots and all that stuff. I still have a big file on all that George and I covered very early on. You know, I mean, look, I'm happy to hear about investigations, but I want to hear about criminal charges against government officials. It seems like they can do whatever they want over and over and over again, and it doesn't really go anywhere. And, you know, for a while there, Harmy Dillon, all she was doing was knitting online. She kept posting all these knitting videos, and I was just irritated. And, you know, regular people, look, the J6ers still, you know, they're fighting. Yeah, they're getting some relief, but at the end of the day, you know, they aren't the only ones. It's not just the Proud Boys. Yeah, they got some relief. I was talking to Enrique Terrio. I'm going to try to get him on the show. I'm trying to get Roger Stone to come on to talk about some stuff. But look, I don't know, George. I'm not, you know, you tell me how you feel about this one, and then we can play the clip when you're ready.
Look, I don't know. I mean, look, it's all about what's the end result. She said they found 350,000 dead people currently on voter rolls. That's it? Only 350,000? Okay. They're saying there's 29 states that are giving them issues, 29 states and DC. So, you know what, Lance, before I play the video, I'll put this up real quick. Here's a perfect example right here. Here's the Michigan AG, right? She's rejecting the DOJ's request to look at the voter rolls from November 2024 election. she's saying that federal election laws were not violated. Well, if they're not violated, why are you hiding it? Show it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But meanwhile, she doesn't
No, but
want to
that's
do
what
it.
they do. That's a procedural block, and that's how they use the judiciary. The judiciary gets installed. They get picked by a certain, Biden or Obama or whoever.
I mean,
and then they just get. Then that's it. It's procedural.
How
Everything's
great would it look, Lance, if the feds came in and slapped cuffs on her?
I think
Michigan AG.
I think it would send a very strong message.
I think
but
it'd be great.
Here's the alternative. George, they come to you and they say, George, we're going to audit your federal taxes because we think you cheated. And now George says, no, I didn't cheat. I didn't cheat. So no, you're not going to audit me. I didn't cheat. Do you actually think that the federal government would accept George's statement just like that? Oh, sorry, George. Sorry to have bothered you. Now that we know you didn't cheat because you told us you didn't, yeah, we're not going to audit you now. And that's the same thing, right? I don't need to hear some fucking judge tell me, oh, we got it wrong or there was no election. Okay, maybe there wasn't. Let's just assume you're right, Your Honor. Then what's the reason for not just going open door on everything? See, that's the problem. We don't believe you. We don't believe that nothing happened because you don't want to release the information. See, if you just release the information, then we'd say, oh, great, listen, she released it. It must really be, the likelihood of us believing you at that point would be much higher. But that's the problem. That's what the judiciary, and they're up there in that robe and they're in this giant room and everything's built to be intimidating when you go in there. They want to intimidate you with the language, right? MIT did a huge study where they said, yeah, the legalese doesn't have to be this complicated, but they do it intentionally so that you, Lance, George, and the audience, so you guys can't understand it. And then we're going to sit up here in our robe all, this is serious, and with the big giant room and the echo, and you're up there and you feel like you're about this big when you're in front of the podium. I've been there. It's not a good feeling. I'm just telling you, this is the same bullshit. So you want to play the clip?
Sure. It's a long clip, so pay attention.
Joining me now in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive is the U.S. Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, Harmeet Dillon. And Harmeet, it's wonderful to have you this morning. We appreciate your time. I want to get your take on who really was behind that impeachment process for President Trump. But even more important, give us your sense of what you just heard me talk with Kash Patel about, and that is the failure of any accountability. Our audience knows exactly what happened with the Russia collusion story. No one has been held accountable. Why not?
Well, Maria, thanks for having me this morning. And I heard Kash's remarks. I agree with them. And, your folks need to understand that when we start these investigations, it takes time. We have to interview a lot of witnesses. We don't want to do what the other side did, which is just jump to conclusions. And so we're building strong cases. And I think your viewers are probably familiar with the fact that some of the judges out there, particularly judges appointed more recently, have been, doing their own form of lawfare by simply denying the Trump administration's valid cases in court on numerous different cases. And so we've experienced that at the Department of Justice. And so we're trying different tacks. We're putting teams together. I'm personally involved in some of the issues that we've talked about. Like Kash, I can't talk about things prematurely before they come to a grand jury or before we're able to announce them. But I can assure you that the whole Department of Justice is very committed to this. And Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is continuing the work started under the Attorney General Pam Bondi. And we will have news in the very near future on these issues. And there's so many issues, Maria, like you just mentioned, the Atkinson situation. I mean, we just saw the news come out in the last couple of days about the CIA's weaponization of the government and intelligence officials to concoct a fake narrative regarding the Hunter Biden laptop and sign on and lie to the American people. And they did that, many of them, on the government dime. And so there are some serious violations that may come out of that as well.
But do you feel that there, is pressure to get all of this done, for example, before the midterm elections? I mean, if the Republicans lose seats in the House, will these investigations get derailed?
I don't think so, Maria. So first of all, I mean, the election is important, of course, to all Americans, but we're going to continue our work regardless. I mean, the president has a 4-year mandate. The elections are not going to affect the dedication of the lawyers at the Department of Justice to see this through. We have a duty to do that. And frankly, if we don't do it, the American people are going to lose confidence in our elections. And that's very important to me as a civil rights lawyer who's in charge of the Voting Rights Act and all the voting issues in our country. If we don't have free and fair elections, including elections that are free from this kind of manipulation, weaponization, lying, cheating, and stealing that we have seen evidence of, I think it's very bad for our country. And I personally am here to make sure that we don't have that outcome. And all our colleagues who are political appointees at the DOJ at the high level are committed to it as well. Now, you know, there are many cases where we've had lawyers burrowed in at the DOJ and in other agencies as well who are not with the team and, in fact, who participated in some of the bad acts in prior administrations. So part of what we've been doing this past year is house cleaning, and we've been doing that in a number of different ways. And, you know, I'm happy to share with you some of the things we found in house cleaning, you know, at the DOJ. People have been burrowed in there for decades doing political partisanship, and that's just not what we're supposed to be doing at the DOJ.
So what specific facts have you found? You just said there was lying and cheating. What can you tell us in terms of verifying that information? And I know you've been trying to go state by state to clean up voter rolls. What are you doing in that regard?
Yeah, so let's talk about that. We have a comprehensive effort. I've requested the voter rolls from all states in the District of Columbia. About a third of the states have voluntarily complied with us or reached settlements with us, and we've run some of those records, so I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm suing 29 states and the District of Columbia for their refusal to give us the voter rolls, to which the Attorney General or the Acting Attorney General is entitled under the Civil Rights Act of 1960. We're doing that to make sure that states are in compliance, and guess what? States are not in compliance, even those ones who want to. So for the ones that we've run so far, 60 million records that we've run, we found at least 350,000 dead people currently on the voter rolls in those jurisdictions. And we've referred approximately 25,000 people with no citizenship records to the to Homeland Security to look at, you know, dig into that further and see the extent to which people voted. I'm in touch with voting rights activists who are showing me information about people who have voted who are not American citizens. And so the left told us this never happens and it's a myth. It definitely happened. Just recently, someone was indicted in Minnesota, of all places, for voting without being a citizen. And so I've sent a document request to them on that. Minnesota has a weird vouching law that allows citizens to vouch for each other's citizenship. That's crazy and inconsistent with the Help America Vote Act. And we're not going to rest until we complete this project. Now, Maria, your audience would like to know perhaps that 5 states have actually had judges, federal judges, rule against us in this very simple request to get the voter rolls. It's such a basic voting hygiene concept in the Ninth Circuit, in the 6th Circuit in Michigan, and just recently Rhode Island last week. And so we're expediting the appeals in these cases. There'll be an appeal in the Ninth Circuit and the 6th Circuit soon.
Yeah. Harmeet, you are doing incredibly important work.
So you have federal judges even blocking them from getting this. I wonder what are they basing that on? What do you think, Lance? What could they be basing that on? I can't hear you, Lance. You're muted.
Sorry, but when you think about the federal voter rolls, my bad. I was just trying to make sure I didn't make any noise while the video was playing. Look, I don't know what the law is, but it's pretty simple when you look at this, in my opinion. Does it really seem like it's something, George, that should be held back? It's the federal voter rolls for the federal election. There's a contract with the American people that we're going to have free and fair elections. It's in the Constitution. At the end of the day, anything that obstructs that, to my opinion, would be unconstitutional, anti-constitutional. And because it's the supreme law of the land, I would assume that it's illegal. So I don't know, George, when I hear judges talking, you know, that make these decisions and they decide that they're not going to do something and they've weaponized themselves, that they're showing clear bias against the president of the United States, against the American people, it should be very simple to get rid of them. Hey, by the way, you're fired. Don't come back. But it's not, because of that bullshit lifetime appointment thing, which I don't think was ever necessary. How is it that somebody has a lifetime of job security when they're not doing their job correctly? I mean, George, would you want to be stuck with an employee for an extended period of time because they're doing a shitty job just because it says that you can't fire them?
All this immunity, I need to get rid of that shit. It means people can do whatever they want, anytime, anywhere. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I'm tired of it too. I'm tired of it. I just like to see it different. George, I don't know if you want to do it. I threw it in there, the media, the Deadmocrat.
No, I'm not downloading because we're running out of time.
All right. Anyway, let's talk about Roger Stone and Corey Mills, George. This is kind of a big story. Corey Mills used to be what people thought was a golden boy. Does not appear to be the case.
No, it doesn't. And this is just the little tip of the iceberg because Roger Stone's got more to release. This is going on. Remember when Corey Mills told the president that there was no restraining order against him in order to secure a presidential endorsement? Well, he lied. Not a good look. This is the restraining order. Columbia County, Florida, October 14, 2025. Judge Fred Koberlin Jr. can't be 500 feet from her and banned from online contact. Here's the other part. Let's see how Corey Mills is going to try to walk this back. Kind of bullshit he's going to feed us or say, but Stone, when he says he's got dirt, he's got dirt, he's got more. I mean, he's been going tit for tat with Loomer.
Yeah.
Going back, this is funny because let me say this. So him and Loomer were going back and forth. Well, she blocked him. Okay. Yesterday, Loomer was her and Candace Owen were fighting it back and forth, back and forth. Well, Candace Owen blocked Loomer, and Loomer went off on her for blocking her, calling her names, this, and that. And I just replied, wait, didn't you block Roger Stone? I just said that and just left it there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a battle. At the end of the day, a lot of these big influencers, they like to get in these pissy matches. Sometimes I'm not sure it isn't for clicks. I don't think it is between Laura and Roger, but I just never know what to think with Candace Owens.
Each one, Laura, Candace, they each have their own hardcore followers. Which, it's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Follow who you want, believe who you want. When somebody put a poll, you had to choose. I'd choose neither. I'm not going to choose.
George, do we have time to talk about the Maine governor and this corruption?
We do, Lance. We can.
Typical, right? And I assume he's a Democrat. Yeah, more Democrat money laundering, of course. Why wouldn't it be, George? Why wouldn't it be?
More Democrat money laundering?
I mean, look, there's 4,500 contracts that were non-compete, sole source given to friends and family of Democrats. How is that not money laundering?
According to them, it probably isn't, but this is a bombshell. I mean, look, more corruption. Always Democrats. We're not saying Republicans don't do it, but it seems like the majority of it comes from Democrats. And this is Maine. Maine's a small state.
Yeah, and this guy is a governor candidate, Bob Charleston. He's just exposing the truth. I mean, like I said, if you doged every state, this would not be the limit.
How did this take so long to come out? He said 45. There are more than 4,500 contracts that were non-compete.
Yeah,
given to friends and family of Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
$2.1 billion in questionable contracts.
Yeah, nice. It's an easy way to get rich. Just overpay for a contract. Whatever the contract's for, overpay. Get a little kickback. Everybody gets and it's done. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Play the clip.
How about the fact that you have an audit that shows $2.1 billion in questionable contracts? Steve Robinson, God bless him, digs a little deeper. You look at some of the deep contracts, you find there are more than 4,500 contracts that were non-compete, sole source, given to friends and family of Democrats. Does that look like public corruption? Yeah. How about the fact that I ran 5 years of investigations for Gingrich? I ran the Waco investigation, 100 witnesses. I ran all kinds of investigations. I did criminal referrals. Do you think, with 4,500 potential felonies, do you think there was one criminal referral? No. That is normalized public corruption.
Yeah. And it's going on in every single state. It is what it is. All right. Well, listen, we're out of time for today, huh, George?
We are.
We are. So listen, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, hit that follow button on the way out. If you can do the $5 subscription, thanks. If you can throw us $5, $10, $20 at a Rumble Rant tip, we always appreciate those. And at a minimum, take the live links, take the short form content. You can strip it off our own social media, share it far and wide, grow your own social media. We're always here for that. And we love you guys for tuning in. And of course, hit the follow buttons over at the Big Mig Show, Lance Miliaccio, and G Ballantine on X. Everywhere else, it is George Ballantine.
Here's mommy. We prayers for your speedy recovery. Hope you get better, and you better click that link I sent. Lance, real quick, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
She found out she has cancer. They found an early stage. She says it's gonna be all right, and I sent her the link for ivermectin and membezadol. And I said Stone's wife had stage 4 cancer.
I have the whole protocol.
Lance.
Again, it's not medical advice, but
Lance,
if you get
I'm
me
not
an
talking
email,
about the
I'll
protocol. I'm just talking. I sent her the
protocol
thing
for Jeff's wife, for Stone's wife.
Yeah,
I have that. So if you get me an email, I'll make sure we get it over to her.
I have it too.
Oh, I didn't know you had it. Okay.
Hold on. Just tell him real quick about Roger Stone. What his wife?
His wife had stage 4 metastatic, is it called metastatic breast cancer? Basically, being told that she had a limited amount of time. They used protocols. Of course, you know about the protocols that are antiparasitics that also seem to attack cancer cells and very effective in many of the cancers, not all of them. Again, I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice. The point is, his wife, and he's happy to let me say this, I've asked him before, full remission. Full remission, and has been now for a couple of years. Remember, given a determination of stage 4 to go to full remission. Look, it may not work for everybody, but I think these protocols are proven themselves. And if you just type in cancer treatments on X, you will see an unlimited list of what you should be doing that I believe might change the total determination of any cancer, doctor's determination. We're seeing it over and over. And there's a friend of ours, Florida Shark Man. If you go find him on X, this is something he knows an awful lot about. You can tell him, Lance and George talked about it. He has given people, here's a copy of the protocol, decide for yourself. And people have not only cured their own cancer, they've cured the cancer in their pets.
All right, hold on. Ears, I know you ordered that, but just email me because there's more things you could do to help that protocol, more supplements and stuff. I'll send it to you. Just email me already. Will you stop arguing? All right, Lance. Have a good day. Maybe I won't shave for tomorrow for you. That's if you only email me. All right, later.
I might have to let it drop. Said gotta do hella big, had the money back again, like said had the
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA. The future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.